So what is up, guys? Ghost here, and today I'm bringing out some Modern Warfare, and I'm going to be talking about the biggest thing that everyone is talking about right now that other people love or they absolutely hate, and that is going to be having no minimap. Alright, so comment down below straight off the bat, guys. Are you part of the team minimap or having no minimap at all? Simple answer, simple question, guys. Do you want the minimap to be permanent like it's always been in Call of Duty for the past 13 years? Or do you want to have it where there's no minimap like the game is right now in its current state? For me, I just think that having a minimap, just like every other Call of Duty's multiplayer, is going to be the way. And that's the perfect way every COD's multiplayer should be, because it's been in every COD for like 12 years straight. It was even in Call of Duty 3, man. It was in Call of Duty 4. Every COD you can think of with the multiplayer, it's been a staple. It's just been that core feature, right? And then for this year, for whatever reason, they just remove it, and I have no idea why. And Infinity Ward never put out a statement on why they chose that design philosophy. I don't ever remember seeing them, you know, be like, yeah, we removed the minimap for this reason, and this reason, and this is why we did this and chose to have the game play like this. I don't know why they did it, and they still haven't put out a statement on why they're doing this. But they are saying that they are open to change to see what happens during the beta. So that's a good thing, guys. For ground war, apparently, which is going to be 32 versus 32, we are going to be getting a minimap for that ground war mode for a little test during the beta. So hopefully it's better by then. But guys, pay attention to this gameplay, okay? Pay attention to how I play, and pay attention to how the players play. Most importantly, when you don't have a minimap here, you'll notice a few things. You'll notice people literally camping together or by themselves or just in a corner, and that's just the way this game is, with the way the maps are laid out and designed. Camping and just holding down one area and just really not moving around and rushing is the way with this Call of Duty. That's how I have found the most success. Sadly, this game truly does punish you for rushing, because look at this right here. This is the map design. This is how many areas and spots of the map you have to look out for. And that's why I'm saying you get punished for rushing. You have so many spots to look out for with so many of the maps. And you guys see how this map is laid out right here? How there's so many areas and lanes you go, and how many crevices and just how much spots there are on this map that you have to watch for enemies, and how many spots that, you know, you go from one place to the other. And there's even more spots that I didn't even put on this map. But a lot of the maps are like this with Modern Warfare, right? And I say having a minimap won't necessarily fix everyone's problems that they're having now. It's gonna fix some of the problems, but honestly, it's gonna not like fix the map design, because obviously that's the map design, right? So that will kind of alleviate it a little bit, in my opinion, but it still won't fix how players play. But at least you have a general idea of where they're at, because dude, I use the minimap not only to see where the enemies are gonna be at, I use the minimap to predict the spawns. I use the minimap to see where my teammates are positioned at. I use the minimap to see where my teammates die from. I use the minimap to, you know when to push and when to fall back. I use the minimap to explore and learn the map easier. And it's been in Call of Duty for 12 plus years, man. Like, leave what's not broken. Don't change what doesn't need to be fixed, or like anything like that, because they kind of did that with Call of Duty Ghosts 2, Infinity Ward. Because you guys remember, in Call of Duty Ghosts, they literally removed the UAV. Yeah, and they replaced it with a SATCOM system where you place 3 of them down, or 2 of them down rather, and you get a sweeping UAV, which was a terrible idea. And look how that turned out with Call of Duty Ghosts. That ruined the flow with Call of Duty Ghosts. It obliterated that game. And I'm afraid the same thing's gonna happen with this Call of Duty. How there's gonna be no minimap, the flow is gonna be just even worse than it is on some of the maps, and we're not gonna like it. So I just think that having a minimap will be just far better for everybody involved. I see more pros to having a minimap than more cons. Like, what is so bad about having a minimap? Like, name down below right now 10 reasons why not having a minimap is a great idea compared to where 10 reasons why it's a great idea having a minimap like COD has been for the past 10 years. And you'll see a major difference right there. So far with the maps we've seen, it just seems like Infinity Ward's going back to the non-linear design of the maps, how they're not symmetrical at all whatsoever. There's so many areas to go one place to the other, and it's just like not a consistent flow at all whatsoever. You can definitely tell right here with this cave map, for example. It's just, in my opinion, a mess. There's just so many areas to go from and to look and watch out for. Like, you get the general idea of where to go and the main areas, however, there's just so much to it. And there's even worse, like I said, with that main raid map, you know, with the buildings and stuff, right? You know, that's how the maps kind of were back then with Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4. But guys, we're used to the fast-paced maps and how they're symmetrical and they're, you know, linear with the past 5 years since Advanced Warfare. You know, maps like in Black Ops 3, AW, Infinite Warfare, and World War II, and even now with Black Ops 4, those maps are very fast-paced, medium-sized, and very predictable, right? And they're not too bad on the maps. Like, I would say out of the past 5 years, the worst of the maps we've had is definitely from, you know, World War II, in my opinion. But look at maps, for example, like with Black Ops 3, or maps with with Advanced Warfare, and even Infinity Ward's previous Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare. How those maps were so fast-paced and very fun and predictable. I love those type of maps, and they just strayed away from that map design of being, you know, symmetrical, very predictable, to just being non-linear and these big maps that we're not used to because we haven't seen that type of map design since, I guess, like Call of Duty Ghosts and Modern Warfare 3. I guess part of that comes down to getting used to the map. However, that's just not how Call of Duty is played nowadays. When you break that mold of fast-paced predictability for the past 5 years, that really takes a toll on players that are familiar with the series, right? It truly does. And it just affects people with a rush-heavy playstyle. And I'd rather have a map that is too predictable than not predictable at all. Honestly, that's just my personal preference, right? And not having a minimap does make the map flow more unpredictable than it already is because of the map design. So, like, for example, going back to previous CODs like Infinite Warfare, Infinity Ward's previous Call of Duty, how the maps were, you know, very small, fast-paced, easily predictable, and pretty linear, right? If that game didn't have a minimap, it wouldn't be too bad of an issue or too jarring compared to this COD, because you at least have a general idea of where the flow is with Infinite Warfare, with the way the maps are designed. With this game having no minimap, with the way the maps are laid out and the way people play the maps and just control the areas, it just doesn't work out, in my opinion. You know, it just really messes up the gameplay and causes for inconsistencies, and it just doesn't make the game fun at all, because you have to check upwards up to like four areas in one single frame that you look at with this Call of Duty, and that's just not fun at all whatsoever. And having no minimap just destroys that as well. I don't know. I just wanted to go on about this, I guess, to just give my honest feedback on my biggest issue with Modern Warfare. Like, having a minimap would fix some issues, like I said, but it wouldn't fix every issue with the Call of Duty. It honestly does come down to the map design, but having a minimap would just help somewhat to bring, for one, that classic Call of Duty feel, and to bring more predictable gameplay, because every single match, man, it's like I am forced to stay back, camp, be very passive, and not be like my true self with COD, where I want to rush constantly. I can't do that because of the minimap. There's no minimap. I can't control the spawns or know where the spawns are going to be at because I can't see where my teammates are at. And I'm used to doing that with every COD, and that's what a good player does. They use their minimap to their advantage for everything, to predict spawns, to hold down main choke points, and much more. So yeah, guys, that's just my honest opinion right there. That's the biggest thing. Hopefully they add the minimap back. It's literally one simple fix away from adding it, and then like it would be a much better experience, or a much relieving experience at that. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your true thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.